Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite channel, Yoleno TV. Today being the 14th of September 2022, a day after inauguration of the President William Ruto. So President William Ruto was officially given the power and he is officially the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. So there is something that attracted my attention, thing about RIGATHI GACHAGUA's speech, how he was given a chance to give his speech. I took a deep comparison between the handing over of power in 2013 and handing over of power in 2022. Then I noticed that there is something that was quite amiss in that arrangement. If I can take you back to 2013, Jubilee came into power on the promise that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta would take 10 years and then give his deputy 10 years. So when 2013 handing over ceremony was conducted, if you notice the presidential address stand, I don't know the name, there's a name that they use for that stand, but the one that has a slogan of the government. So if you look at that stand, William Samoei Ruto was allowed to use the stand with the president. So that symbolized the 10 kwangu, 10 kwako rhetoric. In a normal instance, we expected that the deputy president would be given a separate microphone to give his speech, but that was not the case. Before we delve into this analysis about my observation, kindly check these two videos.
President of the Republic of Kenya. Congratulations, my brother. You fought a hard fight. The obstacles that have been placed before you on your path to leadership were insurmountable.
When President Uhuru Kenyatta and I decided 3 years ago that we were going to work together, it was not about winning an election.
Yes, you've seen for 2013's case, William Samoei Ruto was allowed to use the presidential address stand, but it's for the 2022 case of RIGATHI GACHAGUA. RIGATHI GACHAGUA was not allowed to use that same presidential address stand. Why is it so? I think that brings us to the idea that I think RIGATHI GACHAGUA might be in for a road shock. It's not going to be the way that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Ruto, how they handle their governance, how they handle themselves with the first years before they fail out. I think this going forward will not be as rosy as it was, whereby in the first term of the Jubilee government, Uhuru used to wear a red tie and William Samoei Ruto would wear another different tie. I think yellow, if not blue, yellow tie. And that would play out in most of those cases. When Uhuru announced half of the government, Ruto would announce the other government, but they would share the same presidential address stand. I think with this 2022 going forward, it is going to be slightly different. And I think expectations of RIGATHI GACHAGUA might be a bit short-lived, because in 2013 the government was composed of two parties. That was now the two people coming together to formulate a government. It's like a government of national unity. In this 2022 government structure for the Kenya Kwanza, I think even the likes of Mudavadi should start considering themselves as outsiders, because it is not the Kenya Kwanza government, but it is a UDA government. Let us be honest there, ladies and gentlemen. The president comes from the UDA. The deputy president comes from the UDA, but the chief minister does not come from UDA, comes from ANC party. So that's what I'm saying, that there is likely to be friction going forward. And I'm foreseeing a scenario when, when I talked about this again in my previous analysis, when I talked about the friction between Mudavadi and Rigathi Gachagua has to have in something that is looming, it's something that is inevitable. And the demands that Rigathi Gachagua put, that you need to give us 40% of the government allocations, that has always been the call by Rigathi Gachagua. But if you look at what happened yesterday, then you realize that that's not the case. That is not what is likely to be. The 40% is not likely to be the case. Even the Western people, they were promised 30%. That is not going to be the case. I think, personally, I tend to believe that the giving of Rigathi Gachagua a separate mic for him to produce a speech was symbolic, and that's not something that should be taken lightly. I think that is going forward, trying to tell the Rigathi Gachagua and the team that, look here, I, as William Samoei Ruto, am the man here. There is no sharing of power. That is the message, and that is what I see from that arrangement. So do you think, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the analysis of what we think regarding that scenario, please take a moment and subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed previously. Give us a like, hit the notification bell, so that as usual when you upload a video, you will always become the first person to get notified. Ladies and gentlemen, I shared that video with you. But again, there is something I want you to understand very carefully. You've seen William Samoei Ruto being given that presidential address stand, the one that is normally used by the president for such presidential occasions, to use anything apart from a rally. The only place that maybe you might not find the president using that stand is maybe in a rally or maybe in a church. But most of the time, the president uses that stand as a symbol that he is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and he is in charge of the government. But it's very rare for you to find that the president is just given a mic to communicate to the people. But then for the case of Rigathi Gachagua, I think if we look at the way Rigathi Gachagua was giving his speech, it was like someone who is not happy, someone who is pissed off. So it could have been that was attributed by the fact that he was given that mic when he expected himself to be given a chance to use that presidential address stand to air out, what he felt, the speech, to produce his speech to the people. Because if you look at all those presidents who attended the event were given that stand to use. So in a nutshell, Rigathi Gachagua expected that he would be given the same platform to use to communicate to the people, because the presidency in the Constitution of Kenya is composed of the president and the deputy president. The presidency, ladies and gentlemen. That is what made Rigathi Gachagua unhappy, and probably that's the reason why you saw him produce those statements that he produced. And most people have gone to an extent of attacking Rigathi Gachagua, saying Rigiji ulichoma hapo. As opposed to the way William Samoei Ruto produced his speech, Rigathi Gachagua was on Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's neck. You remember in that speech when he had to go to an extent of saying that from today you don't have to use WhatsApp to make a call for fear of being recorded. Just make a call. He said that he recited intimidations and all those, and even went to an extent of saying that the country's economy was dilapidated. That was attacking the president directly. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think going forward? Do you think Rigathi Gachagua was happy by the fact that he was given a microphone, separate microphone to use to produce his speech? Do you think he was happy? Could have felt that this was not what he expected. He expected maybe this to be like a government of national unity, because he expected that maybe the government was composed of Rift Valley in Mount Kenya, just like the 2013 case, where it was Uhuru Kumi, Ruto Kumi. Maybe this time round, Ruto Kumi, Gachagua Kumi. That is what Rigathi Gachagua expected. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wind up there. But if you're a first-time viewer, I also like to encourage you, first-time viewers, or a regular viewer who's a subscriber, please, to take a moment and hit the subscribe button, because we are in the process of growing our community to 15,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen, in a span of 1 month. So please support our channel, share our channel, and until we meet again, I'd like to say stay safe and stay blessed.